Welcome into the Bassmaster studio, and as we've got this extra week because of our postponement to the Lake Chickamauga event, we decided to take the time to talk to one of our Elite Series pros and one of the highest classic finishers from the 2020 Bassmaster Classic, the one and the only Seth Feider. Mr. Feider, what are you doing? It looks like you're outdoors. Are you in Minnesota? And if so, what's going on in your neck of the woods?
Oh, nice day. Just out for a walk, doing a little shed hunting.
Little shed hunting. You got any yielded any sheds so far?
Yeah. I got one little guy, and then my buddy Kyle. He got a great big one. Hold him up, Kyle. Look at that dandy.
Nice, nice. So shed hunting in Minnesota, is this something that Seth Feider likes to do when he's got nothing else to do, or is this a normal thing in Minnesota once that snow starts to melt and you guys are kind of just getting in the swing of the spring season?
No, I'm all about it. Used to do it quite a bit, but now that I've been fishing down south and stuff, I'm kind of usually gone during prime time. So I got a little break this week and decided to jump out and do a little hiking.
So, Seth, we obviously just got done with the Classic, and normally we've got a longer break after the Classic so the winter can soak it in and do all the interviews. This year, with the postponement of Chickamauga from February to late March, it was only going to be a week gap, so postponing it now is giving everybody a little bit of a chance after the Classic to rest, recoup. You came off a stellar final day. You ended the Classic the way you wanted, 4th place overall. What were your outlook, your thoughts? I got to ride with you the final day of practice, but how did that Classic transpire for you?
It was one of them deals. I thought I found the winning area, but just wasn't meant to be. That big northwest wind we had the first day kind of, I think it made Hank's stuff a lot better, and it made my stuff a lot worse. So it was kind of a struggle there the first day and a half, and then the water started to clear, and it was starting to get back to, what I had found in practice, and was able to catch them pretty good the last day. But, it just wasn't meant to be. I thought I did the right stuff. I got away from the boats, found something to myself that had some big fish on it, and, just didn't work out. But, it was Hank's turn, and, maybe next year we'll get ours.
So 4th place in the Classic, obviously a finish that you desire, but most guys are always like 2nd place and on. It doesn't matter if you don't win. But 4th place, you can build off of that. What was it like going into the event? Because I know that you had tried a lot of different things in practice, and it just wasn't clicking in certain things. Your one stretch was really what you banked in and went all in on. What is that like for fans at home going into the biggest tournament in the world to only have one gig going, and if it works, it could be amazing, and if it doesn't, you got to just kind of shuck and jive and figure it out on the fly?
Yeah, well, that's the beauty of the Classic. You're not fishing for points. It's kind of a winner-take-all deal. If it was a regular season event and I was, it took me a while to get my limit the first 2 days, I probably would have bailed on that area and tried to make something happen and salvage the day. But with it being the Classic, it's kind of a go for broke deal. It's the only place on the lake rides, those right caliber fish, those 5, 6, 7 pound fish that you need to win the Classic. So it was pretty easy and calm to just stay committed, because if it don't work out, it don't work out. Like I said, there's no points, so it's not like I'm taking a bomb on the schedule, and I like fishing that way.
So explain to the viewers at home, I got to see it firsthand, but the area that you concentrated on and did a lot of your work in practice, but also on that final day when you had one of the biggest bags of the tournament and of that day, explain what that was, because it was a stretch on the main river, but there's a lot of grass, a lot of different types of grass. What was the mixture, and what was the key thing that you dialed in to be able to catch those better quality fish throughout that day?
Yeah, I was just fishing basically the inside of a main river bar, and right now Guntersville's just full of eelgrass everywhere. There's a little bit of coontail and milfoil if you get up shallow in the pockets, but as far as the main river goes, it's pretty much all eelgrass. And on the edge of that inside of that bar on the break, there was a small strip. It was long but not wide strip of hydrilla, which was about 4 feet tall, versus the eelgrass, which was only growing up about 2 feet off the bottom. So that just acted as, that was the best grass around, really, and something different. Like I said, with there being so much eelgrass in there, that little strip of hydrilla was definitely something different for them. And just went to work on them with a chatterbait in there. I tried some other stuff, didn't have much luck with it. And just kind of ended up blocking the chatterbait in my hand and living and dying with it.
So as we transition from the Classic, you didn't get the best start, in your opinion, at the St. Johns River to kick off the Elite Series season. So I know you're itching to get back out there and try to improve on that and work towards another Classic berth and getting back in the points race that way. What are your thoughts going forward with this break that we have, the downtime, some extra family time that you've had? How are you kind of trying to stay in it mentally for whenever, you know, Bassmaster emails y'all and says, time to go, let's go fishing, that you're already kind of prepared, you don't have to get ready then?
Yeah, well, it's kind of tough for me up north here. You know, I can't put my boat in the water and go fishing anywhere around here, so I was kind of liking where I was at after the Classic. I stayed down there and was fishing quite a bit down there still, and it was nice to get back in the groove of things. And now with this cancellation, who knows when we'll fish again. It's, you know, I'm basically going to be starting all over like I was in Florida. Be pretty rusty, but you know, hopefully we're back out there sooner than later. And if it gets much later, there's you know, some lakes in Iowa or something I could run down to and do a little bit of fishing. But it's definitely nice having a little break, get back with the family and whatnot. But this time of year, I'm ready to go. It was nice, you know, once I start fishing and get kind of back in the groove of things. I get kind of rusty in the off season, but you know, I'd like to keep fishing, but it didn't happen. So we're gonna have to knock some more rust off when we do go fishing again.
So for a lot of the viewers that might be watching this, they might be from the South. There's no bass season. It's 365 days a year. Whenever you want to launch your boat, you can try to go catch a bass. Explain to them what you mean with that rust, because there's times where you don't go fishing for a month in the South because you're busy and whatnot, but you guys don't have a choice to go bass fishing in open water. What's that like going from Minnesota, running down south and starting your season off? Sometimes it's hit or miss, but sometimes, like the last few years, you've kind of figured out how to fish down to south and survive that before the northern swing.
Yeah, well, it's just, you know, come mid-October, early November, our lakes are starting to freeze up, and then, you know, a lot of our lakes don't open up till end of April, early May, so, and with our season usually starting in February, I'll get to a point where, you know, I've gone 3-4 months without making a cast or putting a boat in the water, which I know it don't sound like much, but once I've been fishing for quite a while, you know, a few months straight, just everything's smoother. Decision making, even just simple things like casting a jig around a dock and stuff. You just kind of lose touch with it when you don't fish for so long. But that's the one bad part about living up north.
Well, Seth, we appreciate your time. I'm going to ask you one final question before we go. Weighing in at the Bassmaster Classic, it being the 50th and having a shot, you know, at least if you make the final day, it's an achievement. 25 anglers, you cut half the field, you get to make the final day. That's always a good thing. And then to be catching them as good as you were, you probably knew with every single 4 or 5 pounder you were making a little bit extra money, you're getting a little close. You obviously lost the rock, paper, scissors to Micah Frazier, but you actually won the tiebreaker overall to finish 4th. What's it like weighing in on the final day of the Bassmaster Classic with a 20-plus pound bag in front of fans? For those of us who will never experience it, it's got to be something like a dream come true accomplishment.
Absolutely. Every day at the Classic weighing in is the most amazing thing you'll ever do as a tournament bass fisherman. And roll into the stadium and there's thousands of people screaming and you got your song bumping on the stereo, and whether you got one fish or a big bag, obviously a big bag's better, but just rolling into that studio or into that stadium weighing in for Bassmaster Classic, still hands down every year the coolest thing I've ever done.
That is one of the most special events and weeks in bass fishing. Seth, I appreciate you taking the time while you're walking around the woods in Minnesota, shed hunting. Good luck on that. I don't know if there's a competition between you and Kyle, but hopefully you can have that second half comeback and pass him. But appreciate your time. That's Seth Feider, the one and the only, the best mullet on the Elite Series, and a 4th place finisher in the Bassmaster Classic.
Thanks, Ron.